Step back into the hilariously bizarre world of Victor Meldrew and rediscover the unforgettable faces who brought it to life. This tribute takes a heartfelt look at 28 beloved actors from One Foot in the Grave who have sadly passed away. From scene-stealing guest stars to legendary character actors, each left their mark on this iconic British sitcom. Join us as we remember their lives, their careers, and the laughter they gave us along the way. Dorene Mantle portrayed Mrs. Warboys in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when she was 64 years old. Mrs. Warboys is the ever-so-proper, slightly oblivious friend of Margaret Meldrew. Often caught in the chaos surrounding Victor's misadventures, she serves as a comedic counterpoint, a character full of misplaced optimism and hapless energy. Whether she's being kidnapped by mistake or roped into bizarre schemes, Mrs. Warboys always retains her dainty dignity, even when circumstances spiral hilariously out of control. Dorene Mantle brought a brilliant mix of warmth and absurdity to the role, making Mrs. Warboys a memorable part of the series' success. In real life, Dorene Mantle was an accomplished British actress whose career spanned stage, radio, and television. She also appeared in Father Brown and Doctors. Mantle passed away on August 9, 2023, at the age of 97. She died peacefully at home, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and beloved performances. Michael Robbins appeared as the irate neighbor in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, at the age of 59. Though he had a small role, Robbins's portrayal was impactful, capturing the exasperation and comic frustration that often mirrored Victor's own temperament. His character was a reflection of the suburban tension that the show satirized so brilliantly. Robbins was already a familiar face to British audiences, best known for his iconic role as Arthur Rudge in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, where he delivered dry wit with impeccable timing. A talented stage and screen actor, Robbins had a successful career across television, theater, and film. He retired from acting in the late 1980s due to declining health. Sadly, Michael Robbins passed away on December 11, 1992, at the age of 62. His death was attributed to prostate cancer. Though often cast in supporting roles, Robbins had a unique screen presence that left a lasting impression. Damaris Haymon played the elderly lady in One Foot in the Grave, 1992, when she was 63 years old. Although her appearance in the series was brief, she embodied a quintessential British eccentric, the type of character who quietly steals a scene with quirky behavior or an offbeat comment. Her character was part of the show's mosaic of odd neighbors and baffling encounters that kept Victor Meldrew in a near-constant state of disbelief. Damaris Haymon had a knack for portraying gentle but peculiar women, and her brief role in the series fit that mold perfectly. Off-screen, Haymon was widely recognized for her role as Miss Hawthorne in Doctor Who, 1971, among dozens of other British comedies. She remained active in acting well into her later years and was known for her generosity toward young performers. Damaris Haymon passed away on June 3, 2021, at the age of 91 due to natural causes. Hilary Mason portrayed Elspeth in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when she was 79 years old. Elspeth is a peculiar elderly woman, introduced in a brief yet memorable moment of absurdity. With her quiet demeanor, fragile frame, and air of mystery, she embodies the kind of surreal encounters Victor Meldrew often faces. Hilary Mason infused the role with understated eccentricity, a skill she honed through decades of portraying unsettling or odd characters. Though Elspeth's appearance was limited, she left an impression as one of the many unpredictable people who populate Victor's suburban nightmare. Off-screen, Hilary Mason was a highly respected British actress, perhaps best known for her chilling performance as the blind psychic Heather in Don't Look Now, 1973, a role that earned her enduring cult admiration. Throughout her long career, she appeared in dozens of television series, including Z Cars, Dixon of Dock Green, and Miss Marple. Hilary Mason passed away peacefully on September 5, 2006, at the age of 91. The cause of death was natural causes. Her career remains a quiet triumph of consistency and character depth. Brooke Taylor played Derek in One Foot in the Grave, 1997, when he was 57 years old. Derek is a quirky and slightly flustered character who gets swept into the chaos surrounding Victor Meldrew's life. Brooke Taylor's comedic timing and natural charm made Derek feel instantly familiar, the kind of British everyman who unintentionally worsens a ridiculous situation. Brooke Taylor was best known as one of the stars of the long-running BBC comedy series The Goodies, and as a panelist on the beloved radio show I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. With a career spanning over 5 decades, he became one of the UK's most recognizable comic voices. Outside of performance, he also contributed to sketch comedy writing and was widely regarded for his wit and kindness. Tragically, Brooke Taylor passed away on April 12, 2020, at the age of 79, due to complications from COVID-19 during the early stages of the pandemic. His death was mourned across the British comedy community, and he remains a cherished figure in UK entertainment history. Angus McKay appeared as the art teacher in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, at the age of 62. The character is emblematic of the show's talent for inserting absurdity into everyday scenarios. As the art teacher, McKay delivered a calm but slightly detached performance, presiding over what should have been a peaceful creative setting, which inevitably descends into confusion thanks to Victor's involvement. The character, though minor, reflects the show's consistent commentary on how normal institutions often become arenas for frustration and madness. Angus McKay had a long and fruitful acting career across British stage and television. He was particularly beloved by Doctor Who fans for his role as Barusa, a Time Lord, as well as his appearance as the headmaster. He also appeared in critically acclaimed series like Yes Minister, The Professionals, Upstairs, Downstairs, and many others. McKay had a distinct screen presence, dignified, articulate, and always believable. He passed away on June 8, 2013, at the age of 85, due to natural causes. Though he rarely played lead roles, Angus McKay left a lasting impact on British television through his consistently excellent performances. Anthony Sher portrayed Mr. Prothero in One Foot in the Grave, 1995, when he was 46 years old. Mr. Prothero appears in a memorably bizarre episode that blends dark humor with the show's trademark absurdity. Sher played him with a blend of exasperation and restrained mania, making the character both oddly sympathetic and slightly unsettling. Though it was a single episode appearance, his performance stood out for its theatrical flair. Anthony Sher was far better known for his remarkable stage career. A celebrated South African-born British actor, he was a leading member of the Royal Shakespeare Company and won acclaim for his portrayals of Richard III, Macbeth, and King Lear. He also wrote novels, memoirs, and plays, becoming a major creative force in British theatre. Sher was knighted in 2000 for his services to drama. He passed away on December 2, 2021, at the age of 72, following a battle with cancer. He died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, leaving behind a legacy as one of the greatest Shakespearean actors of his generation. Georgina Hail played April Blunt in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when she was 47 years old. April Blunt is a peculiar and slightly off-kilter character, appearing in one of the show's more surreal sequences. Hail gave the role an edge of controlled chaos, capturing the spirit of a woman whose behavior confounds Victor and delights the audience. The performance is brief but vivid, a hallmark of Hale's talent for inhabiting strange, compelling women. Outside the series, Georgina Hail had an impressive and often daring career in British film and television. She won a BAFTA for her role in Ken Russell's The Boyfriend, 1971, and frequently worked with the controversial director throughout the 1970s. Her work spanned stage, film, and television, including appearances in Doctor Who, Casualty, and Holby City. Known for her fearless acting style and fierce independence, she remained a working actress into her later years. Georgina Hail passed away on January 4, 2024, at the age of 80. Her cause of death was not publicly disclosed. She left behind a body of work filled with complex, fascinating characters. Jonathan Ceil portrayed Mr. Gundry in One Foot in the Grave, 2000, when he was 61 years old. Mr. Gundry is a wonderfully eccentric character whose brief appearance brought a layer of upper-class absurdity to Victor Meldrew's chaotic world. With his refined mannerisms and oblivious charm, Mr. Gundry seems as though he wandered in from a different universe entirely. Jonathan Ceil's performance was pitch perfect, elegant, theatrical, and tinged with delightful cluelessness. Known for his work in comedy and period drama, Ceil built a career playing foppish aristocrats and bumbling intellectuals. His voice was equally well known, as he recorded over 60 audiobooks, especially of P.G. Wodehouse novels. Educated at Oxford and trained at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, Ceil had a long career on stage and screen, including appearances in Jeeves and Wooster, Midsummer Murders, and The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrine. He passed away on September 22, 2011, at the age of 72, following a short illness. He was remembered as one of Britain's most distinguished and gentle comic actors. Trevor Biffield portrayed Salmon in One Foot in the Grave, 1992, when he was 49 years old. Salmon is a rough-around-the-edges character who injects a burst of mischief and energy into the show's universe of oddballs. With his gravelly voice and rebellious attitude, Salmon was one of those fringe personalities who frustrate Victor with their unpredictability. Trevor Biffield brought charisma and a devil-may-care quality to the part, a signature of his career. Known for playing rugged, often morally ambiguous roles, Biffield appeared in a wide range of British TV dramas, including The Bill, Inspector Morse, EastEnders, Casualty, and Heartbeat. He was considered a reliable hard-man character actor and worked consistently for over 40 years. In 2017, Biffield was involved in a serious car accident that led to health complications. He passed away shortly after on October 11, 2017, just days before his 74th birthday. He was 73. His death was mourned by many in the British television industry, where he was remembered as a dedicated, versatile performer with a memorable screen presence. Roger Hammond portrayed Mr. Gillespie in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when he was 54 years old. Mr. Gillespie is one of the many subtly strange individuals who cross Victor Meldrew's path, contributing to the protagonist's constant sense of bewilderment with modern life. Hammond delivered the role with a dry, weary charm, the type of mild-mannered man who unintentionally adds to the chaos around him. Though his appearance was brief, it exemplified the show's signature mix of quiet absurdity and sharp realism. Roger Hammond had a prolific career in British theatre, film, and television. He was known for his scholarly demeanor and classical training, having studied at Oxford and the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. Over the decades, he appeared in The Madness of King George, Dangerfield, Midsummer Murders, and many Shakespearean productions. He was often cast as clerics, professors, and slightly befuddled authority figures. Roger Hammond passed away on November 8, 2012, at the age of 76, after a long illness. His career left a lasting impression on British character acting, marked by intelligence and warmth. Peter Cook portrayed Martin Trout in One Foot in the Grave, 1993, when he was 56 years old. Martin Trout is an oddball figure who appears in a surreal and slightly unsettling episode. Cook's dry, deadpan delivery lent the character a strange, almost dreamlike quality, fitting the show's occasional ventures into the bizarre. Though only on screen briefly, he made an unmistakable impact. Peter Cook was a towering figure in British comedy, widely regarded as one of the most influential satirists of the 20th century. Rising to fame with Beyond the Fringe in the 1960s, he later became a household name through Not Only, but also and appearances on Saturday Night Live. His work with Dudley Moore defined a generation of dark, surreal British humor. Cook struggled with alcoholism throughout his life, which took a toll on his health and career in his later years. He died suddenly of a gastrointestinal hemorrhage on January 9, 1995, at the age of 57. Despite his early passing, Cook's legacy continues to influence comedians worldwide, and his wit remains unmatched in British satire. John Bluthall portrayed Mr. Jelinek in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when he was 61 years old. Mr. Jelinek is a delightfully peculiar character who embodies the show's recurring theme of well-meaning but frustrating individuals constantly complicating Victor Meldrew's life. With his subtle accent and flustered demeanor, Bluthall's Mr. Jelinek added a touch of gentle chaos, his actions harmless but maddening. John Bluthall was an internationally respected actor, known for his versatility and warm comedic tone. Born in Poland and raised in Australia, he later moved to the UK, where he became a regular face in British comedy. He is perhaps best known for his role as Frank Pickle in The Vicar of Dibley, and for frequent appearances alongside Spike Milligan. Bluthall's film credits include A Hard Day's Night, 1964, Help, 1965, and Hail, Caesar, 2016. He passed away on November 15, 2018, in New South Wales, Australia, at the age of 89, from natural causes. His legacy is that of a gentle comic force whose warmth and timing endeared him to generations of viewers. Brian Murphy portrayed Mr. Foskett in One Foot in the Grave, 1994, when he was 62 years old. Mr. Foskett is an oddball visitor from Victor's past, whose reappearance brings a mix of confusion, guilt, and comic dread. With a slightly unnerving presence and manic energy, Foskett is one of the show's more memorably unhinged guest characters. Brian Murphy brought a brilliant blend of nervousness and mischief to the role, amplifying both the tension and the laughs. Best known for his role as George Roper in the iconic sitcom George and Mildred, Murphy was one of Britain's most beloved comic actors. His career spanned over 6 decades, and he made memorable appearances in Last of the Summer Wine, Benidorm, and The Catherine Tate Show. Despite slowing down in later years, he remained a respected figure in British comedy circles. Brian Murphy passed away on February 2, 2025, at the age of 92. His death marked the end of a remarkable life in performance, and he was remembered as a gentle, gifted actor whose comic timing delighted audiences for generations. John Bird portrayed Lewis Atterbury in One Foot in the Grave, 1995, when he was 59 years old. Lewis Atterbury is a smarmy, quick-talking character whose interactions with Victor Meldrew highlight the series' recurring satire of bureaucracy and false friendliness. John Bird played him with the biting intelligence and comic finesse that had become his trademark. His portrayal made Atterbury both amusing and irritating, a master of passive aggression cloaked in politeness. John Bird was a titan of British satire, best known for Bremner, Bird and Fortune, where he delivered scathing monologues as fictional politicians and CEOs. He also starred in Yes, Prime Minister, A Very Peculiar Practice, and countless stage productions. Educated at Cambridge, Bird was a contemporary of Peter Cook and was deeply influential in shaping British political humor. He passed away peacefully on December 24, 2022, at the age of 86. His death was met with tributes from across the comedy world, all honoring his wit, intelligence, and lifelong commitment to exposing absurdity through satire. Geoffrey Chater portrayed Reverend Croker in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when he was 69 years old. Reverend Croker is a well-meaning, slightly aloof clergyman whose spiritual calm is no match for the everyday absurdity of the Meldrews world. Chater brought elegance and dry wit to the role, portraying a man committed to his faith, but flustered by the antics surrounding him. It was a perfect example of how the show mined humor from the collision between propriety and mayhem. Geoffrey Chater had a long and distinguished acting career, often cast as doctors, reverends, or genteel Englishmen. He appeared in If, 1968, The Avengers, Foyle's War, and Yes, Prime Minister. Known for his precise diction and gentlemanly presence, he was a master of understated comedy and subtle drama. Chater lived a remarkably long life and remained sharp well into old age. He passed away on October 16, 2021, at the age of 100. His death marked the end of a truly classic era of British acting, and he was remembered for his poise, grace, and lasting contributions to stage and screen. Stephen Lewis played Vince Bluett in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when he was 63 years old. Vince Bluett is a comically exasperated character who finds himself at odds with Victor in a delightfully absurd situation. Stephen Lewis brought to the role the same gruffness and comedic rhythm that had defined much of his career. Though only appearing briefly, his presence added to the show's gallery of curmudgeons and eccentrics. Best known as Inspector Cyril Blakey Blake in the hit series On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, Lewis became a British comedy icon for his catchphrase, "I ate you, butler." He also had a notable role as Clem Smiler Hemingway in Last of the Summer Wine, appearing in over 130 episodes. In addition to acting, Lewis was a playwright and director, contributing scripts to TV and stage. In his later years, he retired from public life due to declining health. Stephen Lewis passed away on August 12, 2015, at the age of 88. He died peacefully in a nursing home in Wanstead, East London, remembered fondly for his sharp comic timing and lovable grump persona. Gabrielle Blunt played Mrs. Burkett in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when she was 71 years old. Mrs. Burkett is the quintessential elderly neighbor, proper, kind, but with a slightly bewildered edge that fits perfectly into Victor Meldrew's increasingly ridiculous life. Blunt's performance added charm and texture to the show's depiction of aging and suburban eccentricity. Though the role was small, it was reflective of her lifelong strength in playing endearing and quirky older women. Gabrielle Blunt began her acting career in the 1940s and worked steadily for over 6 decades. Her film credits include A Run for Your Money, 1949, and she became a familiar face on television through roles in Heartbeat, The Bill, Keeping Up Appearances, and Casualty. She was celebrated for her bright spirit and comedic sensitivity, which stayed with her well into her 90s. Gabrielle Blunt passed away on June 10, 2014, at the age of 95. She died peacefully of natural causes, having lived a long life filled with creative work, laughter, and enduring dedication to her craft. Jillian Barge portrayed Mrs. Mauleverer in One Foot in the Grave, 1990, when she was 50 years old. Mrs. Mauleverer is a classic example of the subtly strange figures that drift through Victor Meldrew's world. A woman whose name and presence both suggest an air of haughty authority. Barge's delivery was sharp and layered, managing to be both dignified and amusingly unsettling. The character added to the show's tapestry of British eccentricity, where every passing neighbor could be part of a larger absurdity. Jillian Barge had a long and respected career in theater and television. She worked extensively with the Royal Shakespeare Company and the National Theatre, bringing classical roles to life with intelligence and depth. On screen, she appeared in series such as Inspector Morse, Casualty, and Pie in the Sky, often cast as women of stature or quiet menace. Jillian Barge passed away on November 19, 2003, at the age of 63, after a battle with cancer. Her contribution to British theater and drama was significant, and she was remembered for her commanding stage presence and nuanced performances. Who's your favorite character from One Foot in the Grave? It's always tough to say goodbye to beloved cast members who are no longer with us. How does that make you feel? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you're enjoying our content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. We appreciate having you in our community.